There we go.
All right, and welcome to our second secret power of joy. I'm gonna just hand it over to Kathleen.
Welcome, everyone. Yes, this is our second part of the Secret Power of Joy. If you have not yet watched the first part, where Anna took us into this beautiful joy practice in the body, please be sure to go and check that out. I have a link in the description field of this video. So, yes, we're here for the secret power of joy. This is the cosmic guidance for quantum expansion element. Here alongside my dear sister and colleague, Anna Reidenbach. Welcome, Anna.
Hello, thank you so much. It's such a pleasure to be here and to look at how astrology maps on to joy in the body.
So this is week one of a three-part beautiful series where we're going to be looking into and tuning into the guidance of the node shifts and also this incredible transit that is Barbolt's basket, which we will be getting more into next week. But this week really is about the South Node in Leo and joy as sacred power. So, to start us off, I'm just going to really set the scene with what the nodes are, and then we're going to go more into the juicy joy. So, the lunar nodes, what are they? Well, they are mathematical points where oh, sorry, arrow. They are mathematical points where the moon's orbit crosses the sun's path across our sky. I'm just getting rid of your beautiful head. So there are cross points. Eclipses only occur when a new or full moon is close to a node. So when it's a full moon, this is what's known as a lunar eclipse. And when it's a new moon, this is what's known as a solar eclipse. So the nodes are always exactly opposite each other. North and south nodes, 180 degrees apart. And the nodes spend approximately 18 months in each sign, and they take 18 years to complete a cycle around the zodiac, going retrograde. So they go the opposite way. And so the guardians of the nodes, we're going to look into a little bit of a mythological background. So in Vedic and medieval Western traditions, the nodes themselves were named as dragon points. Vedic mythology and astrology, Rahu is a dragon's head reaching towards our destiny, and Ketu, the dragon's tail, releases the past. Medieval Western astrology and mythology, oh my gosh, my arrow, is Caput Draconis, the dragon's head, which is expansive energy connected to Jupiter. And Coda Draconis, the dragon's tail, is what is shed or left behind. And this is familiar to Saturn energy. The dragons and the ecliptic. So in Chinese and Mayan cosmology, the dragon and serpent were associated with the ecliptic, which is the sun's apparent path that it traces in the sky. And this is the cosmic path along which the nodes travel. So in Chinese cosmology, this ecliptic, this sun's path, is known as the body of a celestial dragon. And in Mayan cosmology, the vision serpent, it was about the vision serpent whose body arches across the sky. And if you have any questions, please place your questions into the YouTube comment section so that I can answer them and everybody can see. And so, this North Node, we're working with Western astrology for Western tropical astrology for this class, as opposed to the Vedic astrology. So, we're working with the North Node heading into Aquarius and the South Node, Leo. So the North Node is always reaching forward, hungry for experience, pulling you towards your destiny, what you're here to become, the new territory your soul chose to explore in this life. South Node, what you're releasing, what you've already mastered in past lives, the familiar territory you're here to move beyond, bringing these gifts forth as medicine while releasing patterns, attachments that no longer serve you. And so Anna, with her beautiful psychic spidey senses, when she first invited me to come in and be a part of the Secret Power of Joy and to bring my teachings, she chose these specific dates. And she had no idea of the significance of the actual dates that we are meeting this month of July 2026. So we're meeting here today. Next week, when we meet on the 19th, 20th, for Southern Hemisphere, this is when we have this most incredible transit called Barbolt's Basket, named after Andre Barbolt. And I'm going to go deeper into that, but hang on to your hats, everyone. This is going to be spectacular. And then on our last class, this is actually the date when the nodes shift, moving from North Node Pisces into Aquarius and South Node Virgo into Leo. So we're really here at such a pivotal time for humanity. And so just a little to set you up a little bit, we're working South Node Leo today. We're going to be working with the Pisces and Virgo axis next week, honoring where we've been and witnessing what we've seen. And then the final class is like stepping into that North Node in Aquarius. But yeah, this is our growing edge, the evolutionary calling towards collective vision, innovation, liberation, and joy for every single being in our universe. Aquarius wants your full wattage, your quirkiness, your genius, your unapologetic, this is me frequency, shine in service to collective field. And then the South Node, karmic inheritance, South Node moving from Virgo into Leo. And so this is really calling us to release old paradigms of ego, hierarchical leadership that we see in the world, the chosen one mythology, the king on the throne ruling from above. And I love this quote by Lao Tzu. A leader is best when people barely know he exists. And this is really the epitome of the Leo energy that we've really been called to fuel this shift, which is the North Node destiny calling of Aquarius. So we're really we want to not be throwing away Leo, but we really want to be cultivating the beautiful essence, the joy, the delight, the playfulness, the creativity, the courage, the heart. In our first part of the Secret Power of Joy, Anna really spoke about heart. And Leo is ruled by the sun. And of course, so the sun and Leo rule our heart. And so I love this quote by Rumi. Let the beauty of what you love be what you do. So the South Node in Leo is really about being the embodiment of the Leo qualities, which is that strength, that courage, that ability to shine, the courage to be visible, holding his flame for others to shine their gifts too, because Leo is a force of its own, and not all of us, I myself personally don't have much Leo in my chart. And so, but Leo is like the sun. Leo has enough of this light to go around for everyone, to wrap everybody up in the joyous nature. Leo, South Node in Leo is about not one people being in the center of attention on the stage. It's about holding the space and illuminating the cameramen and all of the gifts that they bring, illuminating the villain person. I know we have Vive here, and she's an actress, so she could talk about all of the people who are part of a whole stage production. But it's not about just one person taking a bow and taking all the credit. Leo South Node energy is about everybody having their space to share and shine, whether that's in the most simplistic way behind the scenes, or that's like being visible and stepping into the leadership that each of us is here to bring in our own way. No pressure to be, at the forefront, but like going back to that quote by Lao Tzu, the leader that you don't really know is there because they're there, they're ground roots, they're grassroots with the people. And so the sacred joy, the Leo fire that excels and rebels in creativity and play, and emanates this frequency outwards like the sun. And so would love for you to share in the chat, like share your joy medicine. Because this is really important, and this is what is needed in our world now. Like, what delights you so completely that it is ready to overflow? What ignites your soul that could light up our collective field? And where is your unique radiance most needed right now in our world? I'm just going to give you a moment to kind of check in, tap in, because the first part of this was joy in the body. Like, where do you feel these questions in your body? Anna, would you like to read some out?
Yeah, I'd be happy to. Okay, so we're just writing in, right? What delights you? um, what ignites your soul, what's your unique radiance that you feel called to express. And if you'd like to, putting where it feels, where you feel that in your body as well. So you can put the actual gift, and you can also put where you feel it in your body. And I can see a lot of people putting it in the body, so everyone got it. Amazing. Okay, Christina says appreciation for what is, grace. Yummy. Vive says people following their creative callings and expressing them. Aporjita, I feel most joy when I am in community and I am visible. All right, we're going to call on you next time. I am a Leo rising, amazing. And Aporjita says that she feels it in her heart. And Christina also says that she feels hers in her heart. Rose says, I feel these questions in my heart. Steiner says, your quoting of Rumi reminds me of my superpower. As you speak to, I sense this throughout my body and beyond. Um, Ina
Mm.
says, my great, and just tell me when you want me to stop, Kathleen. There's,
Yeah.
they'll keep coming. Okay. Ina says, my great grandchildren playing fills me with joy. Beautiful. Tiara says, my deepest joy comes from experiencing authentic nature. And Rose says, my heart feels expansive. Constanza says, it's hard to know the answer, having been so disconnected from joy, but I'm excited to discover it in myself again. And I can feel that. I can actually really feel that excitement. And that's where the reconnection to our gifts starts, is just allowing us to have these like gentle joy practices. Elena says immersion in nature and seeing small wonders. Marie says, I feel joy in my heart, especially when I'm taking care of my pets. Kim says, the love I feel for my children warms my heart and soul and their smiles, and seeing their smile and when I see them. Susanna, feeling the deep connection to our great Mother Earth, walking barefoot often, practicing rituals daily. There's more. Would it be okay if I say one note
Yes.
on? Yeah. So when we are tapped into like what brings us joy, it also really shows us what our gifts are, right? When nature really delights us and lights us up, a lot of times our gift might be in like um bringing that more deeply to other people, right? If our gifts are in these like, our joy is in our grandchildren, like sometimes it's like bringing the wisdom of the grandmothers to our world is the gift. Sometimes if we're disconnected from our gifts and our joy, our greatest gift is actually helping people reconnect with their joy and their gifts. So just really loving this dance that I'm seeing in the chat. And there's more if you want me to read them.
Yeah, I was just going to reiterate as, you know, we said sacred power, sacred joy at the start. And so all of what you've been sharing, this is your sacred joy. This is, like Anna said, this is your sacred power. And so these are little sparkle seeds that encourage you to keep kind of going down that rabbit hole around them because we each have this unique medicine, and Aquarian energy really is like we're part of this great cosmic symphony, but we're all playing our own different instruments, and this is really important. And the more that we can cultivate our joy, this is what I said when I introduced myself in part one. So if you haven't watched it, go back and see it. But just holding a candle in my hands, this is my greatest passion, that we all hold this candle, this flame in our hands, and we can put it outwards and light up the world. And like, again, going back to that quote, Lao Tzu is like, I don't know about you, but I so had enough about these top-down leaders who are just running the show. It's a travesty when and the cosmos is not going to keep allowing it because we have this astrology where the tides are changing. But this is why it's so important. What we're working with right now is it takes our conscious participation. So your joy is not something that's little and is insignificant. This is actually the most important thing that you can bring to the world right now, and it's something that you already have inside. And so, yeah, again, why is this so important? Because if we want to have a world that we all dream of, that is full of joy, for that ripples out, everyone said it's like for children or for nature, it's this beautiful giving energy. But the shadow of Leo can be making our light conditional on external validation, performing joy instead of being joyful, worth tied to be seen or chosen, again, validated, and creativity abandoned without an appreciative audience. And so we're really being called over the next upcoming 18 and a bit months to really transform these shadow qualities into, and this is where the shadow alchemy is so important. All of those gifts of Leo are found within these wounds. So being aware of them and seeing like where they may be showing up personally for you in your life is a really big clue of where you can actually turn them on their head and transform them. So not going to spend too long on here, but just noticing, where have you been dimming your light? Where is your worth kind of tied into like productivity or achievement, or how many followers you have? Like it's really, we're in this new energy of, it's not about how many followers you are, how many people you have on your list. It's about building a strong tribe of people who are joy warriors and warrioresses. And so, what are you ready to release? And I'm just going to take a little pause here and let's just claim it. Write it in the chat. What are you ready to release? And we can all just witness it.
Did you want me to read some out loud for you?
Yes, please.
I was waiting. All right. All right. Rose, ready to release fear of judgment. Oh, wait, there's so many. Let me start at the beginning. Okay. The need to control the outcome, says Christina. I said perfection. I am releasing that. And we have our prize wheel ready, totally imperfectly and amazing. So we're releasing that. Being judgmental, says Mahishi. Feeling unworthy, says Kim. Stuckness, says Judy. Ready to release the fear of judgment, says Rose. Yes. Aporajita, release doubts and old patterns and blocks. Susanna, ready to release trauma and drama. Vive, control. Marie, ego, mindset. Lavaina, fear, perfection, and judgment. Ina, stagnancy and old patterns. Elizabeth, worthlessness. Enasia, my fears of unworthiness. Yes. Carrie, releasing my concerns about my bold and joyous depth of my creativity. AB, fear of the future. Constanza, I'm ready to release the fear of judgment, betrayal, and abandonment. Yes. Frankie, doubt. Sheena, control, lack of self worth. Anne Marie, being stuck and fear. Deborah, procrastination, fear. Issa, denying gifts and hiding in the shadows. Gregory, the self worth tied to performance, being on stage or seeking attention, shadow. Yes. Shirley, the old world with its density and heavy feelings. Jennifer, the extreme pain trapped in my fascia. Yes, we're holding that with you. Teresa, fear of not having enough money. Steiner, I'm ready to leave lack in any area of my life. Shelley, having to force an outcome. Alexandra, my old identity. I think I'm almost at the end here. Silva, releasing need to control things and fears. Irene, letting go of needing certainty of outcomes. Misa, old patterns of unworthiness. Liz, doubt, grief, procrastination. Sister Featherhawk, own my crone. Tiara, releasing the desire to be seen. Romaine, I am ready to release fear and the belief I cannot fulfill my own dreams.
So we're going to put these all into our great cosmic cauldron, stir them all around, and all of these medicines, these stories, these patterns that served us once upon a time, we're going to create elixirs and magic with them. And that's the power. That's the power that we hold. So witnessing all of these wounds, all of these patterns with love. And now we get to cultivate them into something scrumptious and medicinal for our world. So thank you for sharing because it can be vulnerable and also because Leo energy is like a lion. If a lion gets a thorn in its paw, it's going to hurt. That's exactly the same as if we get a thorn in our foot. And what people don't often realize about Leo is how sensitive they are because they're so flamboyant and, bouncy and just theatrical and can be, look at me. And there's nothing wrong with that, but it's like, look at me shine. I'm here for you to shine too. So thank you, everybody. And so I have a little bit to just talk about and a little bit about Barbara's basket just to set us up for next week. But I just wanted to invite you all into a deeper dive with the mythology of the dragons if you so feel called, because the dragons been walking with me since 2012 when I birthed my daughter in the year of the dragons. And so, yeah, they definitely wanted more than just a little name drop. So created this Walking with Dragons. It's a two-part mythology and ceremony series. Part one, which is on July 16th, Northern Hemisphere, is the Dragon's Spine, Ancient Wisdom for Quantum Expansion, where we'll be diving into the mythology and the fertile richness. And part two is a honoring the dragon ceremony, witnessing our conscious transformation, which is actually with two dear sisters of mine, Cindy and Olga. We form the temporal triad. That's on the 30th of July, Northern Hemisphere. And so we'll be diving into the ancient wisdom with the dragons, exploring the archetypes of the shadow villains, so reclamation, and Rita, pleasure, the nectar of immortality as our sacred birthright and consciously participating in our highest evolutionary shift. Because, like I've said, this month, the world requires our conscious participation. And so we're really going to be setting up to take this conscious participation and then to witness the journey that we've all been on. And this is a sacred reciprocation of 11 US dollars. So I will include the link for this in the YouTube replay if you so feel called to walk with the dragons and myself. And so I just wanted to end on this medicine because
Before
Barbara,
before
oh,
we go
yes.
to, I want to just take a like, can we just take a moment? Like, Kathleen is such an amazing astrologer. She's been trained by Jocelyn Starfeather. She's been trained in elemental astrology, and we're we're both course managers at the quantum school. And so she's taken all of these other amazing courses and always just brings in all of these asteroids and all of these like awesome awesome things into her astrology. And so as we were creating this, she's like, I have so much more than I can share, right, in 20 to 30 minutes. And so I just really want to celebrate the generosity of Kathleen's soul to offer this deep, exquisite, delicious work for 11 US dollars. Like, I hope that
Mm.
everyone, if it calls into your soul, that you're able to say yes to this, because it sounds effing delicious. And thank you for the generosity of your spirit and the generosity of your heart, Kathleen. So you have
Mm.
so much wisdom inside of you.
Thank you, Anna. And yes, I it's $11 because it's a sacred number. And like I said, conscious participation. These transits can be the most auspicious transits for humanity in our world. But the universe is not going to just gift us things for us to stay in this inertia, this apathy, this helplessness. This is really important to me. I see this upcoming month as the greatest opportunity before we literally take this evolutionary shift that is coming in 2027. So I just want you to be able to come in and be part of this magic and be part of a community and a tribe that are here bringing the torch for everyone, and especially for those who can't right now, be that because of war or genocide or injustice or anything like that, or for those who just are in the trenches and can't see the light at the end of a tunnel right now. And so it's important for those who can to really like be the lighthouses. And so, Barbolt's basket is this incredible basket in the sky that is between four planets, Pluto, Jupiter, Uranus, and Neptune. And so each of these planets, these outer and transpersonal planets, are going to be at the 4-degree point. And I'm going to talk more about this next week, but I just wanted to share this. This quote is by Elias Longsdale. It's not a quote, it's medicine. And he kind of channeled these oracles of the degrees um, that are based on Sabian symbols and Chandra symbols. And so each degree, our astrological birth chart has 30 degrees in each sign. And so each of those degrees is an actual oracle. So I just felt that this one was so poignant for what we're working with over this journey of a secret power of joy. So I'm just going to minimize you all so I can read it. Jupiter. And so Jupiter is actually going to be at 4 degrees of Leo next week when we meet again. A gardener collecting cow manure. And actually, before I start, just inviting you to actually place your hand on your heart, on that sun in your chest. Maybe closing your eyes and just taking a sacred sigh and just preparing your body to receive this transmission in your cells, because you may not understand all of it right now, but your cells in your heart will. A gardener collecting cow manure, bonding with the immediate external task and swallowing yourself up in its container, finding sanctuary in excellence, practice, discipline, conscientious carry through, becoming engrossed within the task itself and its way of life, harnessing vast vision into detailed particulars. You succeed marvelously in becoming what is asked, turning yourself into the one who fits a role for pure servant. But a subtle presence, a deep authority, an otherworldly overtone gives you away. You have been assigned to veil the self in lesser things, so that you will be undisturbed to work within and do spade work for planetary evolution. Yet the call is so critical that often even your own conscious self has little idea why none of his posturing ever seems quite real, and your entire expression seems a little too perfect, too much of a setup, too snugly fitting to be convincing to those with eyes to see. So just closing off this section and just knowing you can come back to this. And just knowing that you don't have to understand it with your mind, but just taking those little wisdoms that do land in your heart. So thank you everyone for this extraordinary experience. Thank you, dear Anna, Nanesha. Thank you, everyone. It's such an honor to be with you all and look forward to seeing you all on Barbot's Basket next week.
I know it's very exciting times. We're going to do our prize wheel too right now for Viv's amazing prize. And I think it's just so magical that we all get to meet as the new world is birthing into form. So thank you so much for being here. Thank you for your patience with the extra time. And thank you for all your beautiful smiling faces. I know some of you are in areas where it's quite late right now, and I am looking at your faces and I am appreciating you. So thank you for being here. All right, we're gonna do our prize, and just because we're doing it on a different recording than we'd originally planned to, I'm just gonna show the prize again so we all know what it is. And so in the Secret Power of Joy, we always have these amazing prizes. So this one is Viv's prize. She's going to help you like with your joy in the body so that you can, and other things in the body, so you can create this delicious vision. And um, before Inesha shares her screen with our prize wheel, just a quick reminder that it is authoring your unique life with body dreaming to align your nervous system with your creative blueprint in the 75-minute guided one-on-one somatic experience. And Viv has been working with body dreaming now for 3 years. It is a 3-year training. So she is deeply trained in this, and she's going to support you to decode your body's innate language, allowing you to anchor a clear, felt sense vision for your creative liberation, integrating unconscious material and mapping a path forward. So we are delighted about this prize, and I'm going to hand it over to Inesha. Oh,
Okay. Can you hear me?
yes.
Okay, great. All right, let's do this. I'm so
Okay.
excited. Let's share my window here. Okay. So many names in the prize wheel. I love how there's so many. So here we go, my friends, winning Viv's prize here, visioning
Yep.
through the body.
And quick note, I know there was twice as many people than we see on the wheel, so we're just doing whoever filled out the poll. So whoever filled out the poll is on the prize wheel. So if that was confusing for any reason, you have another chance next time. Okay, so we'll get it all in alignment.
All right, here we go. All right. Looks like Lavinia. Very nice.
Okay, amazing. Oh my goodness. And you're joining us, I believe, from Germany. So you're here quite late. Was it worth it? All right, and you're still here. You could have hopped off and you're still here. So we are so celebrating you. I can't wait to connect you for this prize. So I'll connect the both of you. You're going to have so much fun. It's gorgeous. And I know that one of the things you're working on is creating that vision for what's next. And so this could not be more perfect for what you're creating in your life. Oh my goodness. You guys are going to have so much fun together. Oh, all right. I'm going to hand it over to Kathleen for our final goodbyes, and we will see you guys next week.
Mm. Thank you, everyone, for bringing the joy, for so much beautiful amplification in the chat, because this is how joy ripples as well when we can mirror and reflect. As people have said, they feel the joy from other people experiencing the joy. So may we all keep rippling joy out. Be sure to do your practices because that's how we embody and ground the joy in our bodies. And yeah, we will see you all back here, same time, same place in a week. Thank you. Mwah.
Bye, everyone.